Hello everybody and welcome back to Vintage Thursday. So as you've just seen, we've got the 3095. It's time to get on, start doing things with this. So the first thing we have to do, because it is well overdue, is a service. Engine oil, fuel filters and air filter service. Back end oil, as we said in the original video, has been done. Oil and filters and new pump in the back end, so we don't need to touch that. But the engine has been neglected for some time, and we will have a look at the air filter in a minute, because it's got a date when that was last changed, and you won't believe the date on it. So here we have our two fuel filters, oil filter and an inner and outer air filter. The air filter is not as big as it looks, but it's a big box. Anyway, so let's strip the panels off and reveal the date on the air filter. That's quite interesting. Okay, so all the panels, now the panels are stripped, we have got good access. So we've got oil filter here, filler and dipstick, all nice and handy one side. In the fuel system, the lift pump is here, so we'll have the lid off of that, clean. There's a strainer in there, and this here is a water trap. I've just noticed that's had a breeze repair on that pipe, but it's not leaking, so that's okay. You can see in the bottom of there all kinds of mankiness, so that's got to come out and be cleaned. But that goes back on as it is. There's nothing in there to change, it's just clean it out. And then around on this side, two filters, just spin on fuel filters. So it's all fairly straightforward, easy to get hold of. But here's the thing, I mentioned the date on the air filter. Okay, so here we go. It's got the date written on the air filter fitted, 18th of November 1998. So it's been in there a while. And then it was on 2,666 hours. Today the hours stand at 10,740, I think, round about there. So you know, that's kind of done its time, really. Time for a new one. So first thing we'll do, the engine is warmed through, you saw it running at the start. We'll drain the oil out, let that start draining, and then while that's draining out, we will swap the filter over, ready to top up again. So while that's draining, we will take the filter off. So here goes new filter, filled with oil already. We'll just lubricate the seal. Just give it a hand tight. Okay, so there we go, just up to the maximum. Right, so all the oil is finished now. We will start on the lift pump and see what, I'm sure it's pretty manky in there. Yeah, pretty manky. Right, so this is not fit for purpose anymore. It's full of holes. It's very brittle. I thought I had a spare, but I don't, so we're going to have to get one of these ordered. And we'll move on. Here's our water separator. As you can see, there's nothing in there, but a lot of mankiness. All gungy and horrible, so we'll clean all that up and refit. All clean again. Just a quick whiz round in the parts washer. The parts washer's got to be one of the most useful things you can have in your workshop. There we go. Not too tight, but tight enough. So next stop, fuel filters. Ooh, they're tight. I'm gonna get me filters strap again. They're fairly clean on top, not too bad. I'm sure there's no need for them to be done up quite as tight as they were though. Not so bad. Get a better grip on that one. Oh, bit more dirt on the top of that one. Okay, so I have pre-filled the filters. That saves a bit of pumping, but also because it's a bit of a messy job, you slosh a bit onto the seals anyway. It won't go as tight as the last ones were. Right, there we go. Now we will crack off our bleed points. So there's no need to bleed the pumps on these tractors. It's got a self-bleeding pipe up to the leak off, injector leak off rail. So it would undo these two, and then we'll go around the far side and pump. First off, we'll fill the water separator, and once that's full up, it will then come through into here. But because they're full, it won't take a lot. Once fuel is flowing to this side, it won't be a lot till they're. It'll just take a little bit to fill up the top of the filter head. tight. Might try leaving that one alone. Don't want to break something. He's been rounded off before. So hopefully we can just bleed it on that centre one. Okay, so that port looks to me to be a bit of a bodge job. I can't very well get on this one. And there isn't one on top. I think what we're going to do, we're just going to let all the air out of the one around the far side. Let's give him a pinch back up. We have just slackened him a little bit. Now I can't get on there to do it up again. Okay, so we're filling the glass. Oh, we're pushing these out the far side. Right, we've got air coming out the bleed the far side. Alright, that's looking better. Alright, I'll tighten up now. Okay, so we'll tighten that bleed screw. Just have a wipe off, make sure we're not leaking anywhere. Right, looks dry, so that should be the filter's bled up now. What we'll do, next job, we'll do the air filter and then we'll go for the big startup. Right, so here's the one everybody's been waiting for. What does a 24-year-old air filter look like? And the answer is actually not too bad, but it's definitely due for a change. There's the inner one, pretty clean. So new inner one in, we've got a new rubber washer to go onto the nut. Nice clean outer air filter. So put him in. Right, so what we'll do the same as the old one. We will write the date and the hours on it. So the date is 18th of June 2023. And the hours 10:09:40. I think I said it wrong at the start of the video. Did I say 10,700 and something? It's 10,940. So that's it. Everything is changed. Oil is filled. Filters are bled through. Let's just go round. We'll dip the oil once more before we start, or before we go for the start, the attempted start. Yep. Level is good. Let's see what happens. So there we go, started up. A little tick of the starter. I think the starter might be getting a bit iffy. You just heard that little click at the first start. Because the connections are all good and tight, so it's not a wiring issue, or it might be potentially a solenoid issue. So yeah, so that's something you may need to end up changing the solenoid. It's not a big job. It's cheaper than changing the whole thing. Anyway, we are all good. We have no leaks, so we will just let it settle for a minute, and we will check the oil again, see if we might need to top up just a smidge. But because the filter was full, it shouldn't be too far out. But next thing, so the final thing to do, we will just mark the hours on the filter. I don't ever write the date on. I just put the hours, and that will be it. So there we go. That is the first service complete. It is all fresh oil. I've got to grease it round yet. I've got to grease the back axle and the front axle. But that's oil change done. So there we go. We will leave it here for this video. We're not quite ready to try it in work yet. There is a couple of other things I want to do, and then we'll be ready to get it out in the field and have a little play with it. So, but we'll leave the video here for today. So I will say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.